Anyone stick out that might be like, well, maybe they weren't at their best and they'll give more of a challenge as it goes?
I would say, I think the first guy that comes to mind, obviously Chase Sexton, right? He's the shiny new object that everyone thinks that can take Eli down. I'm in the position where he's got to show us that he can iron out all of his mistakes, right? He made several mistakes, so he still looks like he's got some things to iron out. But then I go back to Cooper Webb and Dylan Ferrandis. They started 9th and 10th, I think, on their first lap. They came around the start-finish line. So if you take what they did, and they both came up pretty much the same time, all the way up through the main event, I think that you need to keep your eye on them. And the reason that I say that, especially Cooper Webb, you can't sleep on that guy's skills, right? He doesn't have as many wins as Eli Tomac, but he's a 2-time Supercross champ, just like Eli Tomac is. So I think that, and he's certainly crafty when it comes to racing, and he is really strong-minded, and you have to have that. In SMX World Championship, as you guys know. Dylan Ferrandis, I still feel like I haven't lost all hope in him. Had an incredible 250 career, as you guys know, has showed some decent speed in the premier class. So I think those two guys outside of Chase Sexton are the guys that you should keep your eye on.
Clinton, you have some data to support exactly what we're seeing with Sexton on the racetrack. What do you got?
Yeah, at Anaheim 1, on lap 15, he's leading. He's up 6 seconds on Tomac. And then on lap 20, Tomac is now 4 seconds ahead and in the lead. So Tomac's moved forward 2 positions, and he's basically capitalized with 10 seconds, gone from 6 seconds down to 4 seconds up. Maybe it was pressure, maybe he's just playing it safe, but the lap times really changed at the end of Anaheim 1.
Are there some nights where you're just like, man, I'm racing the track right now, the guys are going faster, whatever? Is it management mode at times?
The thing I thought about is Sexton should have been pretty good in that condition, right? Being from where he's from, we've seen some great races from him on tracks that are pretty rutted, pretty tough. And I do agree that there are some other riders that we're going to probably, once we get to a good track, we're going to see shining. And I think, honestly, with the Chase Sexton comments, third is good, but I think third is only good if Eli didn't win. So since Eli won, he's definitely behind, schedule, I would say. And third is pretty good, and it's only 5 points or 6 points, whatever it is. But Eli's throwing the first shot across the bow, like, hey, you guys are going to have to catch me. And I'm feeling pretty bad, and I want to see what you guys got. So I think the other riders were probably hoping for something different, right? They were hoping for a win there. Eli maybe not having the greatest race, building some momentum like RC talks about in his racing career, how he just kind of tried to get through, get some points. You just never know. Everyone talks a big game until they get to Anaheim, and it really shows what happens. So granted, the track was super tough, and I don't think we've seen the best of Cooper Webb, the best of Jason Anderson, the best of Malcolm Stewart. I mean, they all seemed like they were running really good at times, but then they got squirrely and went off the track or whatever we did. So tough night. But again, I think third would have been – it is a good race. It is a really good race, but not with Eli Tomac winning the race.
There's so much hype because of the great motocross battle with Tomac and Sexton last year. I think a lot of people put pressure on Sexton to deliver. So what do you think there, Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, coming in, you put him in that group of guys that could win the championship. I'd put him there with Eli, who's done it twice, Cooper, who's done it twice, and Jason Anderson, who's also won the championship. I had him in that group because of the raw speed and the maturity that you were seeing, especially over the course of the summer. I'm actually curious of your take, Ryan, on Sexton, because I've heard 2 arguments after Anaheim 1. One is he had it and he fell apart. I've also heard the argument that he had it, things were falling apart, and then he stabilized and took a third, which is something he doesn't normally do or hasn't done in the past. That was more of a championship ride. So if you were guiding him right now, would you say, hey, Anaheim 1, we let one get away? Or is it Anaheim 1, you did what was right for a long championship? Because I kind of believe both arguments. I need you to settle the score on that one for me.
Yeah, watching Chase the last few years, and especially last year, showed some awesome speed on the motorcycle. But like Ricky said, lots of mistakes. I personally think that's a win for Chase coming out of Anaheim 1. I know he's got a lot riding on his shoulders. Because people are expecting him to kind of make that next step in be up there and racing with Eli every weekend. But as everybody watched on TV and all the fans that were there in person, they watched how and seen how tough that track was. Whatever was happening, he was able to rein it in and get really good points. You know, a third is a phenomenal finish to Anaheim 1. Like Ricky was saying, like I was 16th place. Like he's had some horrible finishes at Anaheim 1. And that just really puts you in that hole where you have to keep digging out of it. And sometimes it's not till Daytona where you kind of see the pendulum swing. And that's a long ways into the season. So I think he's sitting in a very good position, but I do think that he is gonna have to make something happen here very soon and show that consistency and start getting up there every single weekend.